afternoon and happy Monday. We're happy you're joining us this evening. I'm Kylie McKoy.
And I'm Gabe Evans. You're watching NewsWatch Ole Miss. We've got a packed show for you today, starting off with a fun Halloween event that happened last week.
Plus, as the election approaches, stay tuned to hear what Ole Miss staff and faculty think about the importance of tomorrow's election. You don't want to miss it.
But to start off, it's been a cloudy day.
So true, I can feel the moisture in the air. Let's get a look at our current conditions from weather anchor Mackenzie Cox.
Good evening, Rebels. It's currently 71 degrees outside, and although the clouds may have been on and off on our walks to class today, we're in for some serious rain chances later this week. Stay tuned for more in news and weather.
Thank you, Mackenzie. Campus operations are back to normal following a late-night bomb threat that occurred Saturday night.
University police officials sent out a notification at 11 p.m. of the threat and told students to avoid Weir and Lewis halls along with the Duff Center.
University police worked with Oxford Police and the Lafayette County Sheriff's Office to sweep the buildings before an all-clear was issued just before 2:30 Sunday morning. As December is right around the corner, some Rebs are looking forward to a winter graduation. However, this doesn't come without major concerns.
Here's NewsWatch reporter Alexia Anderchek talking to seniors at Ole Miss about their concerns for the economy.
What issues are most important to Ole Miss students? Just like many voters nationwide, Ole Miss graduating seniors worry about the economy, especially employment and housing.
Just job opportunities and whether or not I'm going to be able to get a job or what type of job that I want.
Yeah, I don't know about the pay anywhere, and I don't know what housing is going to be like.
Ole Miss political science professor John Bruce says that he is not surprised that these are the top issues for students.
There's a lot of turmoil in the job market in terms of the impact of artificial intelligence, migration of some jobs, perhaps overseas, the disappearance of some jobs. So broadly, there are some unease, and this just fits into that conversation. Housing is less affordable for people at the beginning of their career, but coming out of Oxford, the housing situation here is uniquely bad. And so some of the housing conversation may be exaggerated by their experience here.
Both former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris have made the economy key parts of their running platforms.
Trump plans to defeat inflation and bring more jobs to America through strengthening the Buy American and Hire American policies.
The damage is done. We have to get the prices down, and that's going to bring other things down with it.
While Harris wants to give first-time homebuyers a $25,000 down payment and continue investing in entrepreneurship.
People, whether it be through the issue of grocery prices and bringing them down, or investing in our economy, investing in our small businesses, investing in our families.
Alexia Anderchek, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
The holiday spirit is in the air, and Christmas in Oxford is just around the corner. To kick off the holiday spirit, the city will be hosting the annual Lighting of the Square this Thursday. The Oxford Civic Chorus will begin at 5:30 p.m. in front of City Hall, followed by the official lighting that will feature Olympian Sam Kendricks and Mayor Robin Tannehill beginning at 6 p.m.
The band known as the Molly Ringwalds are on tour and will be performing their electric covers and the 80s greatest hits at the Lyric this Friday. Doors open at 7:30 p.m., but the show doesn't start until 8:30 p.m. Tickets can be purchased on the band's website or the Lyric website, and more information can be found on both platforms.
Free shuttles will be helping get the Ole Miss Rebels to the polls, and Gen Z voters could play a big part in tomorrow's election.
NewsWatch reporter Evan Simmons has more on the matter.
The presidential election is right around the corner, and research shows that Gen Z voter turnout could shape the future.
Crucial, and and I know that almost might sound like rhetoric to some students that might pay particularly close attention to races, to presidential elections, but this is Gen Z was a powerhouse in the last presidential election.
Chairman William Tier is leading the Ole Miss Center for Community Engagement Voter Initiative, a group on campus helping students register and find the best way to cast their vote.
This year we significantly increased voter registration rates and civic participation rates on campus through a multitude of initiatives such as free food drives, a partnership with fraternity and sorority life on campus, and just a lot of talks with EDHE classes.
Voter turnout for 18 to 24-year-olds were higher in the 2020 election than it's ever been, showing a growing commitment in young people to engage in the political process.
My goal is to basically just help people get to the polls.
The voter initiative will be active on Election Day, helping students get to the polls by offering transportation to and from the polls.
So we are offering free shuttle rides to the polling locations in Oxford on Election Day. We're calling it Rebs to the Polls, and it's a free shuttle service.
Rebs to the polls starting points are here by the Walk of Champions and here near the bike shop, so you can get out and cast your vote on Election Day. The shuttles will be running from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., so no excuses, Rebels. Evan Simmons, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Last month, students had the opportunity to learn some new moves at the Turner Center just in time for Halloween.
NewsWatch reporter Garyana Williams gave us a peek at the class and how you can get involved in the future. Let's take a look.
A couple dance classes a day keep the ghosts away. In honor of the spooky month, the Turner Center hosted a free Halloween-themed hip-hop dance class. Ellie, the instructor for the class, taught students new hip-hop dance moves just in time for the holiday. The Turner Center also offers 40-plus classes each week in the formats of cycle, cardio dance, Pilates, total body strength, and more. Coming to you from the Turner Center, I'm Garyana Williams, NewsWatch reporter, Ole Miss.
With Halloween over and Christmas approaching rapidly, the 4th annual Shop Oxford Holiday Open House will be taking place this Sunday, November 10th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Described as a cookie, stroll, and shop, there will be early holiday sales and fun activities like pictures with Santa. Upon finishing shopping activities, you can take your receipts to the Chamber tent located on the square for some free goodies. More information can be found by going to Holidays in Oxford's Facebook page. Coming up on NewsWatch Ole Miss, we have more for you on how to vote tomorrow.
That and more national news updates after the break.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. For tomorrow, the FBI is gearing up for an election day threats in Washington, D.C. The FBI has created election command posts to monitor and respond to election-related threats in Washington, D.C. for this upcoming election. Set to run 24 hours every day this week, 80 people per shift have been staffed across a dozen agencies as election results roll in. This is all in coordination with state, local, and federal departments. A new California initiative called Proposition 36, if passed, would allow for increased sentencing for people convicted of retail theft or drug crimes. On Monday, Vice President Harris was asked how she voted on this proposition.
I'm not going to talk about the vote on that because honestly it's the Sunday before the election and I don't intend to create an endorsement one way or another around it. But I did vote.
Former First Lady Michelle Obama made her first stop on the 2024 election trail at a rally Kalamazoo, Michigan last month. In a speech, the First Lady urged men to head to the polls, asking them, quote, to take their lives seriously. Trump responded at his North Carolina rally.
And Michelle hit me the other day. I was so nice to her. Out of respect, I was so nice. She hit me the other day. I was going to say to my people, am I allowed to hit her now? They said, take it easy, sir. Sir, take it easy. My geniuses, I'm telling you, they said, just take it easy. Oh, what do you mean? She said bad about me. I can't hit back. Sir, you're winning. Just relax. Is that good or bad advice?
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell's potential successors are hard at work cozying up to former President Donald Trump, while also contributing millions to other prominent senators. Senator John Cornyn and Senate GOP Whip John Thune, the potential successors of McConnell's spot as a Senate Republican GOP leader, seems to be up in the air and could further be swayed by the upcoming 47th president. If the Republican Party does not win the election, both Cornyn and Thune will have to put forth their case to other fellow senators. Despite all efforts from both candidates, McConnell has not shown support for either individuals. He wants to succeed him. And Saturday Night Live, a comedy sketch show, is known for doing satirical impressions of politicians. With the election quickly approaching, there have been more and more of former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. A surprise appearance was made by the Vice President herself this past Saturday.
I wish I could talk to someone who's been in my shoes, you know, a black South Asian woman running for president, preferably from the Bay Area. That do I? A little bit. Now, Kamala, take my Pamela. Because what do we always say? Keep Kamala and carry on a lot.
Well, that's all I have for your national news update. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Kylie. With the election just around the corner, Ole Miss students have been preparing to cast in their ballots, either in person or absentee. NewsWatch reporter Hannah Baker has more on voting here in Oxford.
Students are getting ready to vote in the upcoming presidential election. And Oxford Circuit Clerk Jeff Busby says absentee voting is convenient for out-of-town students.
I encourage students, if they're not going to, they may be out of town next Tuesday. They may be student teaching somewhere else. I just encourage anyone that can and that is under the guidelines of the state law, if they can come by our office and absentee, it reduces the lines.
Ole Miss student Chandler Havard says she's already received her absentee ballot.
My people from home sent me my application and ballot all together. I just went in, got it notarized, took about 10 minutes, and I'm going to send it back today.
The deadline to request an absentee ballot is November 4th, and it must be postmarked in the mail by November 5th to be eligible. Lafayette County voters can also absentee vote in-house until November 2nd. To be eligible to vote in the election, Commissioner Debbie Black says local voters need to make sure they are registered correctly and that they have a valid picture ID.
Make sure you get your address changed to where you're voting in the right precinct, because that will make a big difference, especially in our local elections. It could be a matter of one person being elected or not being elected if a person votes in the wrong precinct.
Residents who are unsure of their precinct and district can visit the website link on the screen. Then click on My Election Day to enter address and find their designated precinct.
Louisville, Harmontown, College Hill, Oxford 3, all these places that you're seeing are all voting precincts. So that is your 18 voting precincts.
Hannah Baker for NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Well, now that we have some information on how to vote in Oxford and Lafayette County, let's take a look at the national picture. We can see here this map from the website 270 to Win is showing us how we're forecasted to see the electoral votes play out tomorrow. The states that are darker in color are leaning towards one party or another, and then the white states are going to be our swing states. So if you're following the coverage tomorrow night, you know that's where you want to look to see how this race is decided. A lot of these states are concentrated in the Rust Belt region of our country and then in the southeast as well as our southwest corner. As a reminder, Oxford and Lafayette County has 5 voting precincts and polls are open from 7 to 7. NewsWatch Ole Miss will be back after the break. Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. We're back with our weather forecast. Let's take a look at our current conditions. Right now we're sitting at 71 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Winds coming in, they've been a little higher today. Right now about 9 miles per hour from the southeast and an 87% chance of precipitation this evening. So right now it's important to make sure that rain could pop up at any moment, so have your umbrella with you and be ready for that as you head out about your plans. Looking at the rest of northeast Mississippi, we can see that it's been kind of a warmer day, uncharacteristically warm for November in this time of year, but mid-70s, and that will be persisting despite the rain and potentially movements that we have coming in this week. Moving into tonight's forecast, we're going to be dropping back down to 64, so a little bit on the cooler side, but we're also going to notice that wind picking up. That's important to note because we will see that this week as some fronts move in through our region. 15% chance of precipitation, so we're kind of at the peak for likelihood for rain right now. But later throughout the evening, you should be okay. So hopefully that won't disrupt your plans for the rest of the day. Tomorrow, we will be seeing, again, increased chance of rain. I know, sad news, but much needed. 79 degrees, almost near 80, so again, uncharacteristically warm. Afternoon thunderstorms are going to be the main weather agenda for tomorrow. So make sure that you're staying weather aware in case the wind on these storms becomes severe, although overall severe weather is not expected to come from this weather event. Tomorrow's temperatures, we're going to be actually topping 80 in Tupelo, so high 70s, low 80s all across northern Mississippi. And to look at a national picture to see what's coming up, you can see all of these movements that we have kind of in the Midwest right now that are going to be coming our way in the next few days. So these areas right here where we have lots of warnings stacked up, that's going to be heavy rain and flash flooding possible, severe thunderstorms. So it's going to be important that this week you remain weather aware and continue to monitor the forecast as you go about your week. Taking a look at our 5-day forecast, you can see that rain moving in that I was talking about, specifically coming in on Thursday and Friday before potentially bringing some storms on Saturday.
All right, sounds good. Not so good, though, with the rain coming up at the end of the week with the football game. But, you know, we are expecting rain tomorrow for Election Day. So make sure y'all have your umbrellas. But
most definitely. I'm so glad that it's finally gotten dark again at the right time with daylight savings that happened yesterday. So.
Do you guys smell that bacon? Because the Revs are back from Fayetteville after a shutdown win. And are you going to the pavilion tonight to watch some basketball? All this and more after the break.
Welcome back. I'm Erica Durkee with Sports Watch. Ole Miss football resembled their early season play this weekend in a blowout at Arkansas. In their first win at the Razorback Stadium since 2008, the Rebels dominated with a final score 63-31. And let's just take a moment to recognize Jordan Watkins, the SEC Offensive Player of the Week, who obliterated his previous career-high 119-yard, 1-touchdown day with 254 receiving yards and 5 receiving touchdowns on 8 receptions. That's just the 12th 250-yard receiving game in conference history and the 4th on single-digit catches. And he shares the SEC record for single-game touchdown catches. The defense finally shared the spotlight, but still notched 8 sacks and 13 tackles for loss. Even so, the game we all have circled on our calendars is this Saturday at 2:30 as the Rebs take on number 2 Georgia at home. Jordan Watkins wasn't the only one setting records, as Jackson Dart tallied 3 weekly awards after Saturday, including the Associated Press National Player of the Week. The quarterback went 25 for 31, racking up 515 yards, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, and 47 rushing yards on 10 carries, scoring the most points Ole Miss ever has against an SEC opponent. In total offense, his performance was the best in school history and ranks 4th in SEC history, 3rd best against an SEC defense. By the game's end, he had broken Ole Miss's single-game records in passing yards and passing touchdowns, both individually and as a team. He also set Ole Miss career records in total offense with 10,805 yards and 13 300-yard passing games, and has the most wins in the modern era by a starting quarterback with 25. Let's hope it's 26 after this weekend. On a more sour note, Ole Miss volleyball came home with a 3-1 loss against number 24 Florida this Sunday. All 4 sets were close, and the match still had impressive performances, including 19 kills from Nia Washington, a 400 hitting percentage from Peyton Burgok, and 42 assists from Mokihana Tufono. They also held Florida's dominant hitter, Kennedy Martin, to her 3rd lowest hitting percentage of the season. Most notably, though, Sasha Ratliff made history, becoming the 16th Rebel in program history to reach 1,000 kills, and the 3rd with 1,000 kills and 400 blocks. The next 4 games are all at home, so make sure to pack Gillum this Friday at 1, where they face Oklahoma. Basketball season is finally starting. Head to the pavilion tonight at 7:30 as the men host Long Island. This season is highly anticipated as they are ranked top 25 in the preseason AP polls for the 2nd time in school history, and in the coaches poll, top 25 for the first time ever. As for women's hoops, the Rebels played incredibly against 3rd-ranked USC in Paris this afternoon. They barely lost 68-66 after fighting back from down 13 at half, led by KK Deans, who had a team-high 19 points, 14 of them in that second-half comeback. And their home opener will be this Sunday, November 10th at 2 p.m. against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Be sure to show out and support both basketball teams in their historic seasons. And that's all I've got for sports. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at Rebel_Watch and at Rebel Watch on Fridays at 5. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Erica, for that sports update. If you're looking for a way to get revenge on some football competition, Fireball has a way for you.
That and some more sweet news coming up for you after the break.
For NFL lovers who love to gloat after an intoxicating win, Fireball has a trick up their sleeve for you.
Fireball is now collecting the tears of disappointed fans after a game day loss for new whiskey.
Official Fireball tier collectors will be posted outside some of this season's biggest NFL and college rivalry games.
The tiers will later undergo a sterilization and distillation process before coming Cryerball. Hopefully all of you age drinkers can get it before the buzz around it wears off. If Fireball is too bitter for you, we have something for you, and that is a little more sweet because today is National Candy Day.
Yay, that's right. Today we celebrate candy's long history of attracting us with their bright colors and delightful flavors.
That's not all. This day celebrates your chocolate bars, gumdrops, and suckers.
Fun fact, candy used to be made from honey and was once thought to calm the digestive system and cure a sore throat.
So, what are you guys' favorite candies?
I'm a Skittles person.
I love Almond Joy.
That's good.
Pretty yummy.
I said this last week, but I just love Reese's peanut butter cups.
I feel you. Airheads Extremes. They're fun, they're colorful, and they're so tasty.
We've got a range. We could make like a candy salad together. Have
Oh
you
my
seen
gosh,
those?
I love
Yes.
those so much. Those are so fun.
However, least favorite candy. What are we feeling?
Almond Joys.
Anything with fruit in it, I would say.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's all we have tonight. Tune in tomorrow. I'm Kylie McKoy.
And I'm Gabe Evans with your latest news.
I'm Erica Durkee with Sports Watch.
And with Stormwatch, I'm Mackenzie Cox.
Be sure to keep up with us on your socials and tune in tomorrow at 5. NewsWatch Ole Miss, where we keep it live
And keep it local. Have a good night.